All right, everyone, here we go. I thought we'd do a Cure for Cancer reading today. I checked, it's been about a month. I did better than the 4 months in between I did last time. Uh, I tell you, I love these readings. Actually, they're really good. It's a good way to check the temperature of the soulmate cycle. Let's see what's going on here. I got a pre-shuffle. Now, for this reading, it's always a little different. You know, we do 5 cards from the bottom of the deck, which are the environmental energy around somebody, and 4 cards at the top, which is how they're behaving in that energy. Somebody attached to you, your partner in this soulmate cycle, if you will. It's an all signs reading. It doesn't matter what your sign is. Cancerian themed soulmate cycle. It's been a tricky one. I've got one side here. This keeps coming up. I pull some stuff offline for the soulmate cycle as well. It's been coming up a lot. I've got 10 cups crossed by the 4 of cups. I've got somebody that's doing a lot of fantasizing, a lot of dreaming in a state of boredom. This is just the surface energy. It's a pre-shuffle. You know, I shuffled before I hit the record button. Just what do you want to tell my people? But for some reason, it's working against them. The 5 of Swords. Normally, I would say this is okay. You could manifest. You can, if you're bored, dream something up for yourself, right? Whip it up. It's working against them somehow. And I think I see why, but we're going to need to pull on it. We'll see the environmental energy and how they're behaving in it. But what it's causing is a catastrophic effect with the Tower here of the 5 of Cups. It's causing them to be more sad and more depressed. We're going from 4 cups to 5 cups. It's an escalation sort of thing. And why? Because for some reason it's attracting in this guy. I don't know how. I don't know why. This looks like a nice dream. I don't know where the fuck he came from. But basically, they're sitting on a rainbow here, enjoying the time. The kids are playing. And off here, off to the right, is a parking lot. And this fucker's Trans Am is pulling in. You know, I don't know what's going on. Normally, this should conjure up some great stuff. But on the DM side, it's not. It's conjuring up a lot of, I don't want to say, I'm going to say mischief. All right, we'll see. I don't know. Let's shuffle the deck. Let's pull ourselves a Cure for Cancer. Let's stick a thermometer up the ass of the soulmate cycle and see what the temperature is. All right, let's see where we go. Take its temperature. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you. These are always all signs readings. It doesn't matter what your sign is. I'm not your fucking astrologer. This ain't your horoscope. But it is a Cancerian themed soulmate cycle. For reasons I've explained in a blog write-up I did on the soulmate cycle, which is still, I'm keeping it front and center in the blog so people can read it. It's timeless. Whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. But I feel like this is happening now for a lot of you. Okay? I feel like this isn't you. It's somebody attached to you. I feel like it's, and now is within like a 6-week window sort of a thing. All right? Let's see where we go. Shuffle the deck here. Come on now. All right, here we go. Did I see something? Okay. Bottom of the deck. Well, we pull 5 cards from the bottom. So the bottom of the deck, the first card out in the environmental energy is the 6 of Pentacles. The second card out in the environmental energy is the 8 of Cups. The center card is the Chariot, Cancerian energy. This is the theme energy of the soulmate cycle. That's not why that's coming out there, though. Somebody here, I've been getting a lot of determination lately. The King of Swords is the 5th card, or the 4th card out, sorry. The Knight of Swords is the 5th card out. And I'll show you the 6th card. It's not really part of it, but it's there. It's got a little bit of energy feedback in here. It's the Knight of Cups. These 2 are read together, these 2 are read together, and that one is the base energy sort of by itself down the middle. Somebody's motivated, I was going to say determined, but somebody's motivated to do something here. But they keep stopping themselves, I want to say. They keep stalling. The environmental energy around them is almost encouraging them to stall. And I think that's where that devil lives. It's sort of a lazy energy. All right, we'll see. Because I got a lot of forward movement here, and then I got a sitting king, red with an 8 of Cups. Fuck it, some other time. I'll get to it later, right? I mean, I don't know. It's weird energy. All right, here we go. Top. Flip the deck. 4 cards from the top. How are they behaving in this environmental energy? Yeah, see, they stop. They don't know what to do. Somebody here doesn't know what to do. They don't get it. They don't understand it. Second card. Six of Wands. What's crossing that? I was going to say, how do I get victory? And I'm right. How do I get victory? Contemplation. Yeah. It's another sitting king and the sitting queen. And I think they might be arguing with themselves or somebody around them. Anyway, what's the final outcome? Potential final outcome. It's red with 7 cups. It's not overly encouraging. The 5 of Wands. It's one of those energies where I might say somebody attached to you has this thing going where stuff that usually works for him isn't working anymore. Like, think of, Fonzie hits the jukebox and it goes off and it plays on happy days. In this instance, in this type of energy, Fonzie hits the jukebox and it doesn't go off. Nothing's working. He snaps his fingers, girls don't come, that kind of thing. Nothing this person's doing. This person could usually conjure up something fun. This person could usually figure out something to do. They can't. They're just in a constant state of what do I do? Contemplation. Love to have some victory here. They get an idea and then it gets shot down somehow. Somehow, some way, the idea is like, I don't want to do it. Fuck it. This is something they're going to struggle with throughout the mustard rhino energy of 2026, I would imagine. I think this is something they're going to struggle with. Let's clarify. Especially if they're, I'm going to go with Chinese astrology here for a moment. If their Chinese animal, if you will, is a dog, your person, something like that, using that as one example, I could come up with probably 3 or 4, but that would be a strong one, where the dog might have a whole lot of trouble getting up and going in the coming year. And that might cause it some problems. Okay, let's see where we go. Let's clarify the 7 of Cups. See, you might be like, well, the center card, but that's what I'm saying. The center card is the Chariot. There's some drive to do something, and then it dissipates out. It's interesting that the devil didn't come out again from this deck. I know it's here. It lives in indecision. It lives in nah. It lives in debating everything so long that you don't have a chance to do it. It's like there's a flash sale going on at a store, and you spend so much time thinking about whether or not you're going to go that you miss the sale. It's that kind of energy. All right, here we go. 7 of Cups. Why is it here? We'll clarify with the witches. Let's see where we go. Interesting. Very interesting. There's an urge to give to it. And then the energy pushes back and says go for it, but then they feel like it's too late. Jesus. Okay. All right. It's funny. The environmental energy is providing the drive to do something, and then it's followed by nah, or procrastination, maybe. I don't know what's crossing the 7 of Cups. The Magician. He wants, it's sort of an instant. It's that old, back in the day, they used to have this saying all the time. Everybody would say, there's an app for that. Right? It would be on a commercial or something like that. They'd say, there's an app for that. You might have somebody attached to you that's pretty prominent in this soulmate cycle for you, a runner, an ex, whatever. It could be the person you're watching tarot readings about, who has a lot done for them. They're not used to having to do things for themselves. And I think this person may have to get used to that. And I think that's sort of what the energy is setting up here on some level. I don't know how to describe it. It's like somebody whose mom always cooks for them and makes the bed for them. They think that just happens naturally when mom's not around. All of a sudden, well, why wasn't the bed made? They start living on their own and they realize that they're going to have to do it themselves. I don't know. I've got somebody who's very unsure what to do. I don't know what to do. Okay, let's see where we go. The Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's very, very kept, very superficial, very somebody who's used to having things done for them. I'm right. I absolutely. All right, that's why they don't know what to do here. That's why they get into, well, I don't know. I'd love to go to that flash sale, but how do you get there? Okay. All right, Queen of Wands. Why is that here? Karma. Judgment. What's the bridge? Yeah, the 6 of Swords. Look, this is usually pretty easy. This is tough. The bed's usually made and I get food waiting for me when I get up. But since I got this place on my own now, that doesn't happen anymore. It's a bit of that. Somebody's karma's falling on their head here a little bit. and they're having a hard time dealing with it. They wish things were the way, or it could be somebody who wishes things were the way they used to be. Things used to be easier. Well, I bet they did when that happens. I don't know. It's just the way I can read it. You don't want to take me literally. Just catch my drift. I mean, it could be read as a lazy procrastinator that's bored and they're calling and they get an idea, but then their own demons kick in. Or if it's something they have to do themselves because it's a lazy devil. If it's something they have to do themselves, they just blow it off, and then they feel bad about it later. Then they kick themselves for it. I don't know. Let's pull on mini skirt here. 6 of Wands. Victory. See, this is crossing this. They get the ideas. They know exactly what they want to do. I don't think they know how to do it. That's really what it is. It's somebody, I believe this is somebody, for a good number of you, I believe this is somebody where everything's done for them. It's my entitled fuckwit kind of energy. All right? And whenever this energy rolls in, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me in my meeting of people over the years and observing them and whatever, how the most privileged people I've ever met, the people who don't need to go out and get a job and work 3 shifts just to get by, the people who have endless free time, daddy gives them the Mercedes, they got endless free time. The most just gifted people just master nothing. They master nothing. They're good at nothing, right? 6 of Wands, a lot of them. Anyway, it's that frequency of devil. It's the lazy devil. It's really what it is. It is that specific mix of frequencies of devil energy that was in the pre-shuffle that does it, that makes people do that. They got all the time in the world. They could become a concert pianist if they wanted to, but they don't. Anyway, 3 of Wands. Some of them did, some of them did master things. I have to give an example. 3 of Wands. I didn't have a lot of free time, but I found time to get good at some shit. 3 of Wands. They've got ideas. They've got plans. They've got things they'd love to do. There are things that they can figure out that make them happy. What's on top? The 10 of Wands. But they're hard. They're hard because they have to do them themselves, or they have to get up and off their ass and go do something. Nobody's going to bring it to them. Usually things are brought to me. I don't know. Life is getting harder for these people. It's getting more and more difficult. And it's an energy of somebody who wants things back the way they used to be. That's here quite a bit. We can't do that. We can't do that in the world. We can't bring things back the way they used to be. I mean, it's just not possible. There's also, whether it's their life, mommy's not going to come make their bed or whatever. It's just, things change, things evolve. I mean, I don't know. 10 of Wands, why is it here? 8 of Wands. Again, it's hard to go forward. Yes, they want to, but it's difficult. It's difficult to come toward you. It's difficult to do anything. It's difficult. They're just in a position where they're bored, and they're dreaming up ideas, and then they shoot them down because it's hard. Right? Things aren't what they used to be. Okay. All right. Queen of Swords. Why is it here? So, what's she thinking about? The King of Swords. That right there. It's my king of action. And when these two cross like this, in close proximity, the King and Queen of Swords energies can fight. They can cross swords. When these two are this close, this is the closest they can get. I'm going to just, before I say anything, what's on top? The 10 of Pentacles. And what's read with that? The 3 of Pentacles. Right. They're getting mad at themselves. It's what I said. They're getting angry at themselves because they can see the life they want. But it takes too much work to get it. There's too much they have to admit to. There's too much they have to admit they were wrong about something. They have to admit this. It is what it is. It's the fundamental problem with the DM side of this soulmate cycle. It's just somebody would have to admit that they got it wrong, and they may have to admit that they got a lot wrong going way back, and that's too hard. So it's easier just to bury your head in the sand, or start drinking, or take a woe is me attitude with that lazy devil energy and say, well, things used to be easier. That's all I can say. Right? Okay. Well, if you figure out why things used to be easier, you can figure out a solution to try to fix that problem now. But try and go back to old energy doesn't work. It doesn't work if you're going to relive a honeymoon and go back and relive it. It's not the same. You can't do it. You'll always come out disappointed because it wasn't exactly as you remember. Of course not, because you can't relive old energy. That's why you take what you can from the past, bring it to the present, take the lessons from it, bring them to the present, and move into the future with them. All right? All right. Let's go with the Five of Wands. Four of Cups. There's that apathy energy again. Well, it is. It's the apathy energy. Then they get mad at themselves for not doing it. Somebody is in an endless feedback loop. I'll equate it to you. It's probably to do with their life and you. But I'll go ahead and soulmate cycle it up. Somebody would love to come towards you, but it's hard. So they don't. They just sit still. But then they start thinking how great it would be. But they don't, because they're like, it's hard. Then they get apathetic about it, and then they try to put it off to the side. Then they get mad at themselves. Then they get in their head, start fighting with themselves. What's on top? The Six of Wands. They make excuses, right? That's what this Five of Wands is in their head. They're an excuse machine, right? Why is that here? The Eight of Cups. For why they blew it off. There you go. It's exactly what I said. You can see it play out. It's a lot of things. This is a common trend right now. Everybody in the world wants change, but they don't want to sacrifice anything to get it. We want to rewind things to where it goes back. This is a trend in the soulmate cycle. They all want to come towards you. They want real love, this and that and the other thing, but it's hard. And they make excuses or they procrastinate on it and blow it off. It's just the way it is. The energy itself, again, it's funny because we had the King of Swords. I'll show you. The King of Swords was crossing here, and I have the Eight of Cups over here in our final thing. The King of Swords is red with the Eight of Cups here in the energy. The final outcome is already written into the environmental energy because I think that devil is ingraining itself in it. It's a delusional devil energy that makes people think things are going to be too difficult to do, so why bother doing them? Let's just keep things the same or move things back the way they used to be. Tell me about that devil. Tell me about that devil. What do we get here? Tell me about the devil energy. Wait a second. Hold on. Did I see something here? I'm looking at the back sides. I'm not looking at all the cards. I thought I had a witches mixed up in here. I guess I don't. I don't know why, but I did. Hermit at the bottom. Knight of Wands. Crossed by the Hermit. I'm going to pull three. The Eight of Wands. And the Six of Swords. Yeah. Again, it's a blow-off energy. The devil energy that I'm pulling on is a blow-off energy that makes you think you're making the right decision. The Wheel of Fortune with the Hermit here and my Page of Wands. There's some sort of energy around right now. It's making somebody attached to you. It's making the DM side of this soulmate cycle lazy. It's making them, there's no other way I could put it. All right, they're having a hard time bringing their head above the low vibration waters. It's just sort of where it's at. We're taking the temperature of the soulmate cycle right now. If it were a person, I'd suggest it take a couple of aspirin. I would. I'd suggest to take 2 of these and call me in the morning, kind of a thing. Again, somebody here is used to things being easier. I imagine they're used to going for low-hanging fruit. I imagine that if they're married or in a relationship, it was exactly who mommy and daddy wanted, or it was somebody who was never going to say no to them. You look at them, if your person's a dude, you look at their person that they're with, and you go, well, how the hell did she get him? Well, it's because she wasn't going to say no, and he knew it. That's why. You, on the other hand, come along in this soulmate cycle. It's a common thread for this soulmate cycle. You come along, and you're the shit. You matter. All of a sudden, you're awesome. All of a sudden, you might say no. That might hurt their ego. But they're bored with what they're doing, so they want to come towards you. But then that devil energy sets in, the one that says, nah, I better give it a pass. Move forward with something easier, right? That's why my party girl is here, right? And that's my party girl's older sister, right? Go out with the party girl sisters, right? That's much easier. Again, I don't know what it is, but I hope this energy dissipates. I don't know. It may be ingrained in part of the mustard rhino energy for the year. I'm not sure. But this is the wrong way to look at things. All right, it really is. If something's worth doing, usually it's worth putting some time into. You know, it's worth bothering with. So I don't know. See, obviously it's important to this person. This is obviously, whoever this is that I'm pulling on that's attached to you, they're obviously very unhappy and they're bored. But for some reason they convince themselves that that's just, you know, what they're stuck with at the moment, and then they get mad at themselves for it. But then they start excuse machining a good reason to walk away from it. What are those excuses? What's the excuse machine saying before we go? Let's see. Let's pull that out. What's the excuse machine saying? If nothing else, you get to learn about a new energy. Don't let this affect you. It's around you too. It may or may not be affecting. If you find yourself procrastinating a lot, decide, you know, you get a great idea. Oh, I'd love to go to that. You know, I just feel it. And then you just don't, and you make up all kinds of excuses. Then that's that little lazy devil. It's around you. All right. Question it. That's all. Defy it, and you'll move past it. You'll rise above it. This person's not doing anything to defy it. They're looking for the easy way out. It's what it is. Let's see where we go here. What's the excuse machine before we go? The Hermit again. Okay. The Six of Cups. The past. Yes, the past. What's that here? And the Eight of Pentacles. This is weird. What's the bridge? It's almost like one of my offline readings, and the Two of Swords were jammed up. This is the same kind of reading I get for manufacturing. For example, in my offline readings, the return of manufacturing, right? Where we're going to dominate the Industrial Revolution coming back, right? Fucking dinosaur talk. It's impossible. Back in those days, everything was cheaper, for starters, and back in those days, we put kids to work in the factories and we didn't have any labor laws. Okay? We'd have to literally remove all of the labor laws and send children back to the factories, which we did. You can research the history, you know. And then maybe. Right now, it's too expensive. It costs too much money to make anything, and then the end product will cost too much money because we got all these labor laws. You have to pay somebody this. Hell, you can't even work at McDonald's anymore without making $20 an hour. I'm thinking about going there. You know, I'm in. Right on. I mean, here, at the end of the day here, this is that kind of energy. It's somebody who feels like things will just fix themselves, sort of thing. Somebody thinks things will just fix themselves. Just find something else to do. This will all work itself out. Somebody thinks that. It's not going to work itself out. It's not going to happen at all. The excuse machine is, well, it used to be in the past that this and this and this happened, so it'll happen again. It's not the way it works. The past moves on. The energy flows. It's a river. It flows. It's flowing past new terrain now. All right? Adjustments have to be made. It is what it is here. Somebody's missing the point. Quite a bit. Missing the message from the soul and listening to an ego devil that's floating around. I'll tell you what, that's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Good luck.